Seeing as how Superman's the first superhero, there's a lot of copycats. But how many of them are owned by the same company? And welcome back to the heart of the stories we tell, where today we're going to do another sensational 7. Why a 7 countdown? Because I have a little more energy than those that do top 5 countdowns, and a little less than those that do top 10s. Either way, I just like the number 7. So, without further ado, today we are going to talk about the top 7 DC Comics other Supermen. To be fair, I'm not going into multiple universes. I'm not going with alternate dimensions and Superman Red and Superman Blue. Nope, for this I'm just taking other people whose concept basically is Superman. With the S on his chest, I describe him as having all sorts of powers that are very similar to our main Superman, but I'm going to discount Superboy and Supergirl. Even though I love them, they're very much spin-offs. But when I start with number 7, even I have to admit, it's more of an homage. It might be easier to confuse him with Iron Man or Thor, with a technological suit and a big old hammer, but the man they call Steel was a spin-off of Superman. John Henry Irons is a hero in his own right, and a strong personality. Personally, I didn't mind the movie with Shaq, but I have to admit it wasn't exactly doing him a lot of credit. Number 6, though, is someone who deserves his own movie and hasn't gotten one yet. A strange visitor from an alien planet, adopted by our world, and living undercover. Sound familiar? Well, this time it's Icon. Specifically, Milestone Comics Icon, and the first of the characters who were bought by DC after they were created. Icon was Milestone's Black Superman, and I honestly think he is criminally underused. Number 5 is another bought-in character, although this one goes way back. Specifically, Captain Marvel, Shazam, depending on how you say it. Bought because he was too much of a ripoff of Superman, they've been trying to figure out what to do with him ever since. But number 4 is another purchased character, and another homage. Wildstorm Comics had a history of doing edgier heroes, and with their Superman, they went as edgy as can be believed. Apollo, the god of the sun, or, well, the superhero, married to Midnighter, their Batman, the first on this list to be an openly gay superhero, and possibly even more powerful than any of the others on the list. How the Wildstorm universe hasn't spawned its own movie universe, I have no idea. DC could totally spin it off and have it nothing to do with the DCU. We're moving on to yet another superhero that is Superman, only not. And another black one. Specifically, number 3 is Bloodwind, created by Dan Jurgens. A voodoo mystic, in this case a magical-based Superman. He has the heat vision, he has the super strength, and he's a necromancer. He comes from the Bayou, and is definitely worth exploring. However, number 2 is someone who's impersonated him before, specifically the Martian Manhunter. Martians are basically Kryptonians, except they are also shape-shifting telepaths that don't have the vulnerability to kryptonite or magic, overpowered to the extreme, a detective by training, and currently helping keep Supergirl alive on the CW. Martian Manhunter is actually a favorite. Before we go on, though, some honorable mentions. The new Chinese Superman, the Cyborg Superman, the Eradicator Superman all go without saying. However, the big honorable mention I want to put out is Iron Monroe. Back when the Justice Society was revamped to not have a Superman, he was their stand-in. And then the number 1 was easy to choose because it's a little bit of all of them. He's more powerful than Superman, he has a different origin than Superman, and he was created by another company to be their stand-in Superman. Captain Atom. Captain Atom, for those of you that don't know, was an Air Force pilot, Captain Nathaniel Adams, who was experimented on. That's right, he's basically Captain America. But instead of a super soldier serum, he was shot into the quantum force, wrapped in an alien metal, and as such has become a walking nuclear power plant. He can channel all sorts of radiation, absorb energy, redirect it, has super strength, flight, energy projection, and is all around one of the most powerful people on this list. Well, probably second most powerful person on this list. Any one of these 7 could easily stand in for Superman in his absence, and some of them actually have. Just to recap, Steel actually did stand in for him during the reign of the Supermen. Icon has been used in multiple occasions, most notably in Young Justice as a stand-in. Captain Marvel Although not really a stand-in per se, they are never sure what they're going to do, could definitely do the job. Apollo basically is Superman, just in an alternate look. Bloodwind, although magical, has the least in common with Superman, but is definitely a Superman redo. Martian Manhunter is basically the Silver Age Superman. And of course, Captain Atom, who was Charlatan's Superman. They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and as we walk through the heart of the stories we tell, we're going to talk about a lot of imitations, and we're going to talk about the fact that sometimes themes need to be slightly changed in order to make adaptations, and sometimes we're going to talk about just outright theft of character ideas. But as long as the copyright laws stand as they are or are constantly changed, Superman's outside the public domain probably forever. And as such, we're going to see a lot more of Captain Atoms and Solars and Supremes and everything else, as people want to tell more stories about a character very much like him. And maybe that's good, because instead of getting cookie-cutter versions of him, we do get many different interpretations of what is an Uberman. Well, for now, I hope that you have a good day. However, if you have anything that you think I missed, especially if you think there's another DC hero who should have been on this list, put him down there in the comment section. Maybe next time I'll count off the Marvel versions of Superman, but maybe not. We'll see. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.